Welcome to the Mind for Success podcast. I'm your host, Kimberly Lebbing, and I love seeing business professionals, leaders, and entrepreneurs have massive success in their businesses. Are you ready to reach a higher level in your business? Are you looking to rise to the top and break through the barriers that are holding you back? If this is you, join us on the Mind for Success podcast. Hello and welcome to the Mind for Success podcast. I am your host, Kimberly Lebbing, and today I'm going to talk about 5 shifts that every entrepreneur can make to achieve their goals with ease. Who wants more ease in their business? I wanted to talk about this topic because as we're ending the year in 2022, going forward, so many people are looking for ways to move their businesses forward, to have more clarity, to get rid of frustration, and really move their business and their lives forward. Quite honestly, we want better relationships. We want better health. We want better businesses because it's all connected. So that's why I wanted to talk about these 5 shifts today. So the very first one that I want to speak of is avoiding resistant triggers. And what resistant triggers are words like should, have to, need to. They're all guilt words. So if you're saying, so stop shoulding yourself is what I like to tell my clients. But whenever you're using words like should, have to, need to, they're all guilt words. They're all based in scarcity thinking. And they hold us back. They bring our focus to things that hold us back. So instead, say get to, or I will, or I must. A good friend of mine told me about that. I must, what I must do. I love that. I want to. So what those words do is they subconsciously get us excited instead of dreading. So when we say I need to, or I should, or I have to do something, I mean, even when I say those words, I feel like, ugh. But whenever we say I get to, or I want to, or I must, instead about any task, it literally shifts the way you think about it. And it can help you move forward. So that alone, that little bitty thing, little bitty tweak in language can make a difference in your consistency. It can make a difference in how you view the things that you have to do or get to do along in your business. So it's amazing how just a simple shift or paying attention. So you may not catch it every time. And I still say these words occasionally. In fact, when I was writing this, I had the title of it, 5 shifts that every entrepreneur should make to achieve their goals with ease. And then I looked at it and I laughed because I'm like, okay, it's counterproductive to what I'm teaching here. So I took the should out and replaced it with can make to achieve their goals. So, or get to make, maybe I'll rewrite it before we even put this podcast out there. But pay attention to your words, because when you're using, especially should or have to or need to, they're guilt-ridden words. They can be a good indicator if you're using those a lot, there's underlying guilt. And if you've got other problems going on in your business, that may be a clue that you need to dig in a little deeper with where that guilt is coming from. Was it something learned? Was it something programmed at an early age? Where or what is, how is that showing up? And how is it affecting you? How's it affecting your business growth? So pay attention to that if you're doing that a lot. Okay. So point number 2 is remove negative affirmations. So why on earth would I do a negative affirmation, Kim? That doesn't even make sense. Well, what I mean by that is we're constantly affirming. We are constantly affirming either what we want or what we don't want. So example, you wake up in the morning and you say, oh my gosh, I'm tired and I'm achy. Or we may say, I'm always late, or I'm running late. So what it does is it brings our focus to what we don't want. So remove the negative affirmations and stop saying the things that you don't want. We all have a reticular activating system in our brain, and this is the part of our brain that allows us to focus. And when we focus on the things that we don't want, guess what we get more of? We get more of that. So if you're focused on, I'm always running late, guess what? Your brain is going to subconsciously figure out a way to keep you late, because that's what it does. So stop saying the things that you don't want. Pay attention to this. I think it's helpful. I like to give a plug in for the kids. So if you're a parent, business owner, entrepreneur, parent listening to this, business owners can have kids, right? Pay attention to how you talk to your kids with this, because a lot of times we tell them what we don't want them to do. We say our brain doesn't process negatives. And this is for everybody. We don't process negatives. So if I tell you, don't focus or don't think about a pink elephant, what are you thinking about? You're thinking about the pink elephant. We tell ourselves, I don't want to forget, and we'll, name whatever it is. Well, you're saying the word forget. You're actually saying what you don't want. You're bringing focus to forgetting. So instead, say it the way you want it. I want to remember to whatever, blah, blah, blah. With the kids, instead of stop running, walk down the hall. We do this all the time. So pay attention to the negative affirmations that you're saying to yourself, because if you didn't want to say it to, some of it's subconscious, like sometimes we're not aware. We say don't, or, we say don't in front of the thing that we don't want. But so, and that's one thing, but also sometimes we talk to ourselves in a way that we would never, ever, ever talk to another person. And so pay attention to that as well, because those negative affirmations are programming you. Again, they're programming you, and they're programming you into behaviors and outcomes that I'm guessing you don't really want, or you wouldn't be listening to this podcast in the first place. Okay. So I think I got my point across on that. Next, I want to talk about universals. Okay, so what are universals? Universals are also words like always, never, everybody, nobody. And again, whenever we use words that are universals, it brings focus on what we don't want. So sometimes we might say, I'm always late. Well, are you really always late? This is where you want to question it. Get curious with yourself. Am I really always late? Or we may say, no one, this person never picks up the phone when I call them. Well, is it really never? Or this person, or nobody's answering their phones today. Nobody's responding to my emails. Is it really nobody? So ask yourselves that question, is it really? And question yourself there. Whenever you hear yourself, pay attention to when you're using those universals, because again, it puts your brain into a focus that you don't want, because you're focusing on really the negative. And, instead, it's okay to tell the truth about a situation, but you don't want to lump everything into that one negative day. So, okay. Number 4, it's all about the but. So again, this is about leaving the past behind you. And again, it's about our words and forming new habits. So whenever we're talking about a behavior or a new habit, we want to refer to the behavior that we want to change as if it's in the past. So I'll give you an example. So for instance, procrastination. In the past, I used to procrastinate, but now I'm becoming more and more aware of the action that I want to take. So pay attention to your words and refer to things that you want to change as in the past, even if it's not quite there yet, because this will help your brain know that change is coming. And when you add that but, so I'll repeat what I said. In the past, I used to procrastinate, but, so that but, it's all about the but. That but gives your brain a clue that change is coming. But now I'm taking action, or now I'm choosing to whatever. It really opens up the boundaries of your brain so that a new outcome has the potential to take place. Because if we keep saying the same thing over and over again about the problems that we have or the behaviors that we seem to be stuck in, we continue to program it. And every time we keep running that record, it just drills it in deeper and deeper and deeper. And now we're really stuck. So pay attention to your words and leave the past behind you. Refer to the problem or the behavior as in the past. But, okay. Number 5 is asking the right questions. So this goes along with what I said before, but this is in the form of questions. So many times throughout the day, we ask, why is this happening? Why aren't they picking up the phone? Why am I gaining weight? Why am I not going to the gym? Why am I inconsistent? We ask why? And what happens, again, we're triggering that reticular activating system in our brains. And what happens is we end up focusing on what we don't want, because when we ask that why question, not in the Simon Sinek context, but when we ask why we're not doing something or why somebody's doing something, it puts us really in a victim sort of mentality, of victim energy, so to speak. And then our brain starts answering the question, and it will give you every single negative thing that you've done. It'll run a list. It'll say, well, you're not consistent because you went and did this instead, or you chose to work on this other thing that's not as important instead, or it'll give you all the wrong things. It'll give you all the things you did wrong. So simple tweak and questions that you ask yourself, ask how or what. How can I be more consistent? What actions can I take today? What can I do to move my business forward today? How can I be even more focused on my goals? So asking yourself questions like this can help your brain, again, focus on the right questions so that you can move your business forward. So I hope you found these tips helpful today. I'm Kimberly Lebbing, and I'll throw in a plug for my group. So it is December 2022. In January 2023, I have a group that I am starting that is 9 weeks long. And we're going in that group, going to really get to the core reason of why or what is holding people back. We're going to remove it. This group includes my 4-hour process, and we're going to really focus on goals and get people moving and going from confusion to clarity, frustrated to fulfilled, and stuck to unstoppable. So if this is something that interests you, you can go to my website, KimberlyLebbing.com, and there's a button at the top about my group. You can click on that, and if you have questions, you can reach out to me anytime. Thank you for listening.
Are you ready to break through the barriers that are holding you back and reach a higher level in your business in just 4 hours? Be sure to click the link today and join other high-achieving professionals that have worked with Kimberly Lebbing to accelerate their success.